Why is somebody getting out of their car? That's a little creepy. An old man, no less. Very creepy. I say old man like I'm not a fucking old lady. Stoops!
Is some kind of civil dis.
Hi everybody, it's PJ, and oh my god, did I have an OBE last night? And it wasn't a fun one. Okay, so it's so crazy. Ugh, I hate this because it's something that I don't like to put out when I'm scared in an OBE, because most of the time I'm not. And I want you guys to know that so that it doesn't stifle you from like trying, because oh my god, my hair is soaking wet. Ugh, and it's cold. So, and I knew it. That's the other part. I tell you, I know when it's coming. Like, I can feel that somebody was there. I was using the spirit box, and I think that that might draw in some attention I did not realize I was going to get, okay? Like, because I had some attention last night. So, I'm using the spirit box, and it keeps saying entity found or something. But then it was saying, like, it was negative. Like, I couldn't understand everything it was saying to me. Like, I guess you're supposed to go back and, like, clean it up. But I am in no way a fucking gearhead. Like, my son is, but I'm not. And he's in New Orleans. So, I don't know how to clean it up. I'm a basic bitch when it comes to, like, videos and all that. Like, I need an app, and the app better be simple. You know, I don't know how to do it. So, there was like 3 different voices, and the first thing I asked on the spirit box was, are you alone? And it said no. And the way it said it, I kind of got a chill. I was like, okay, that doesn't sound friendly. You know, like, you could tell the difference from the first day to, or the first and second day to this day, to last night. So, and I had never used it at night before, and I just think the energy, for some reason, when the sun's down, the energy was like higher. You kind of feel it in the room. Piper kept looking down the hallway, and I was like, so I asked my usual questions. Is Jeff there? Didn't get a response. All this stuff. So then it's a woman talking. And what did she say? Like, I couldn't understand exactly what they were saying, but if I asked a direct question, they would give me a direct answer. Okay, like, so if I said, is Jeff there? Somebody would say, no. That's what it sounds like, too. It was kind of creepy. And then, but if I didn't ask a direct question, then they would just say crazy words that I didn't understand. And like I said, I think one person is speaking Spanish, and I don't know Spanish. But anyway, so at the end, now remember, I don't think the voices that they have necessarily reflect, I keep doing that with my hand, I'm sorry, necessarily reflect of the voices, because they're using pieces of voices from a radio. So they have to use, but this very deep, dark voice comes on, and it says, what sounds like doom, D-O-O-M, doom. So I said, you know, this doesn't feel friendly, and I just shut it down for the night. The rest of the night, and I went and watched Rachel Maddow, because I love Rachel Maddow, and I went and, like, just watched some TV, and I was just doing stuff on videos. Like, I was just resting before time for bed. And then, like, the hallway where I tell you I can see it wavering sometimes, I would look, I couldn't directly look at it and see the wavering, but if I looked down a certain way, I could see it just like wavering, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to travel tonight. And the reason why wasn't because I'm scared. It's because the Mabel thing is so close that I just don't want to be like crying on the other side. Anyway, So I kept noticing it, but usually what I do if I meditate before I go to bed is I just like let them know. I let them know, yeah, not tonight, you know. And then it leaves me, whatever it is, it just kind of leaves me alone. You know, I've made my decision, I'm not going. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen last night. I put on a meditation thing on the computer for healing, because I do that a lot when I sleep. I want to give my body enough like process to like heal as best it can in the hours that I'm asleep, right? So I do that. I put that on and I close my eyes, and there's no like binaural beats in it, but there might be something, but nothing I could pick out like that would help me click over. And the next thing I know, there are hands on my shoulders. Now, my bed is up against the wall of my bedroom. Like the bed, I have no headboard right now. I used to, but I don't have one anymore. And I'm going to get a new one. But anyway, so I'm right up against the wall. My pillow's like right up against the wall. And I guess my head was like touching the wall. And right next to that is a window air conditioner, because I don't have central air in that house. So, and it just left it in. It's been there. So, all of a sudden, this wind, and I if you ever go back to my astral projection videos, you'll know a lot of times with astral projection, it feels like you're being sucked. Okay, this came like that, and it was this suction, and literally I tried to rationalize it, I guess, that we were having some sort of windstorm. I'm like, oh, we're having a windstorm and it's sucking air through the air conditioning. This is what I tell myself. And then I like fight it. I'm like, oh my God, it starts pulling my hair, pulling my shoulders, and I'm like, oh no, this is somebody trying to get me over to the other side. And before I could do anything about it, like shake myself, like you can shock yourself out of it. Fear usually shocks you out of it. This time, didn't do a thing. And I've only had that happen one other time. And it wasn't a good one. And so, all of a sudden, I am on the other side. But I'm in a house. A house that I know is mine. That the minute I landed feet in it, I said, oh, I've been here before. And not only that, it's something from my childhood, but it's nowhere that I've ever physically lived, but it's my house. It's crazy because I almost feel like that was a past life, and I'll tell you why. Because the furniture in it, I instantly remembered picking out. I remembered like walking through the aisles, picking out this furniture. Yet I've never lived there before, like in this life. Crazy. I just looked around. I'm like, I'm home, but I'm not home. So I run to the window. I knew before I hit the window that there was going to be a sign for a restaurant outside my window. I knew what restaurant it was. I had eaten there before, yet I've never eaten there. It was the craziest kind of fifth dimension bullshit, and it didn't, and the windstorm was outside, and I was in this house that was my house. Literally, what's crazy, I'm missing a part. When I slipped over, I was in my bed in that house still. And I jumped up out of the bed and ran down into the living room. And I knew that living room. It wasn't like, what's crazy is when I was a kid, I've had like almost like dreams or memories of this house. Because, okay, I'll talk about that later. Anyway, so I run to the front window and I'm looking around going, oh, like recognizing that this is my house, yet that I've never lived it from this life. And I'm like, oh my God, it has been so long since I've been here. This is what's going through my head. Oh my God, I remember this. Oh my God. And I'm like trying to meld the two lives together in an instant. This happened like this, like they sucked me out. Somebody sucked me out so fast. So I run to the window and I look out the window to the lawn I knew I'd see, to the sidewalk I knew I'd see. Like it was so fucking crazy. And this torrential storm is coming. It's not raining yet, but the wind is battering back and forth and everything's flying. And I'm like, okay, this is because I came over. Like something told me that it's because I'm here. So then all of a sudden, and a woman's voice it wasn't Paula, it was Linda, is yelling, Linda, Linda, Linda. And I run to the back door through a house that I knew how to manage the floor. Like, it's dark, it's nighttime. I ran through the floor and I like knew where to turn my crazy thoughts. Like later thoughts were fucking insane. And I throw back this little curtain on the back door window and look into my backyard where there's wood stacked up. Why? Because we were getting ready to put a porch on the back. Who's we? I couldn't figure it out. Who we is, I couldn't figure out. But I'm like, oh my God, that wood is going to get tossed. And so I turn around in the room and I can hear voices of things that I think happened once before, because my voice is in there. My voice is in there. And so I'm like listening to this muffled conversation, and I'm like trying to remember. I'm trying so hard. I'm like, how am I here? Like, I don't understand. Like, because, okay, when you jump into another world, you know you're in another world. When I jumped into this, I knew I was back in time, like into my time at some point. That's all I can tell you, that I knew that. And so the wind starts howling and the wood starts getting picked up and whacked against the back door, making me not able to like totally concentrate. But then I felt like somebody's going to come through that door. If that wood like knocks the glass out, or then whatever, something wants to get in. So I ran to the back door where there was like this rocking chair in the room before the kitchen where the back door was. I grabbed the rocker as I went and I shoved it underneath the doorknob. Even though it was a rocker, it kind of jammed it, not completely, but a little. And then I was like, I go through the kitchen and I'm looking for like something to put in front of the glass. The glass is only like that big. So I'm like, oh, I know. I can use like a cookie sheet. And I open it up, and all my cookie sheets has edges, like they're like cookie dish sheets, like they have a little edge on them. Okay, but I knew that the cookie sheets in the thing were flat. It was just so, every little detail I had put there, so I knew. It was so cool, crazy and cool. So I take the cookie sheet and I try to jam it up on the window, and all of a sudden, like that, the storm stops. And I said, I like stopped what I'm doing. I pulled it away. I looked out the back. I'm like looking around for someone trying to get in. Nobody's there. I'm like, okay. So I walk out into the living room quietly, and I realize that the storm was my resistance. Like, that's what that suction that I talk about, that you feel like you're being sucked. It was because I kept trying to get back, and I was like in between, and that storm, that whirlwind was happening because of me. So I walk back in my bedroom, it's my bedroom, and I sit on the edge of the bed, and I say to myself, where am I in time? I go back through my head, like through everything I could think of where we lived, like as a kid, as like a teenager, out in California, this, that, and I'm like, no, this is a different life. And I knew right then I'm in a past life. And so I'm like sitting there and I'm like, okay, try to remember, like, who is we? Who are the people that you could remember around you? And 2 little girls, like, is the only thing I could see. And it was like, I'm remembering the front porch of this house that is mine. And I'm remembering the front porch, and it's all like, it's like a cement porch. And I'm with 2 other girls, and I'm young. And then I looked down at myself when I was remembering this memory. And this is a memory, guys. It's not something I'm making up. Like, I had to fight for this memory. Like, like, in my mind, I'm like, give yourself an event that happened here. And I'm a little girl, and I'm on the porch with 2 other little girls, and they're in very crazy looking clothes, like old clothes. And we're playing with a little ball, and we're sitting there talking and playing, but we had a little ball, and the one little girl had like a hand-sewn doll, and that memory just like flashed and away. Okay, so then I lay back down in the bed, because remember, I'm sitting on the edge of the bed at this point. I laid back down on the bed, and my cell phone, crazy as shit, man, scared the shit out of me. My cell phone, I could hear the app. And I'm like, I can hear that white noise. I can hear the app. So I'm like, I open my eyes. I'm laying down in the bed in the house where I think this is another life of mine. And all of a sudden I hear the app, the radio thing. And I'm like, I sit up and look around, because I'm like, that's not in this room, and it isn't. And somehow I start swimming. Like, it seemed like I was swimming or moving towards my real bedroom now, the bedroom I live in this life. And as I'm coming through, I'm hearing the app, but I didn't have the app on. I'm hearing the radio thing, and I'm hearing, and there was a man's voice, but I couldn't make out what it was saying. And then all of a sudden I was back, and I opened my eyes and sat up and said, holy fuck. I just, like, it was scary though. When they were pulling me in, when that was pulling me into that house, like, I was scared. I thought, like, I couldn't, because I said I wasn't going anywhere, I couldn't even rationalize that I was traveling at the moment. And I kept thinking, God, there's wind in my room. But it was me resisting that. It was pretty crazy. When I looked outside, there were no cars on the street. But there was a sign, like a sign. There wasn't any lights, but I could see the sign for this restaurant, this like diner. And then all of a sudden I remembered being in the diner. I'm like, oh yeah, that's, and I wish I could think of the name, but that's that diner, and I've eaten there before. And then I, like, could see myself eating there. It was the fucking craziest time warp thing. Time loop. So now I want to know more. I want to know about past lives. I had no idea, like, in an OBE, I know I could go back to, like, when people were younger. Like, I've done that, and I've done that, but that's what you're presenting. I don't think that I'm actually going, like, when I saw Jeff in the school, I don't know, you have to follow my shit, but when I saw Jeff in the school as a teenage boy, I knew the time wasn't that I knew time hadn't changed to be back in that time. Or I thought I knew that time hadn't been changed, that he was just reliving something, and my spirit guide, like, let me in on it, you know, like, let me see what he was reliving. But I didn't think he was actually transported back to that moment, nor me with it. So I don't know. I have so many questions. And now I want to travel and see if I can go back. What I want to do now is go through the drawers. And I want to be able to see, like, the name on a piece of mail or something like that. If I can. I mean, I didn't have time this time because I felt like I was walking through a Salvador Dali painting. Like, up one stairs and out, you know, this side and that. Like, I was like, what the hell? Because when my feet hit the floor, I was like, this is my house. Like, this is my house. Like, I live here. So creepy, at the same time, so crazy. I think that I'm not going to resist the way I did again because I caused some sort of huge upheaval, and I don't know if that affected anyone else, like anybody that might be still living in that time, in that space, because I don't think that time has a beginning and end. I think it's just all linear, you know, it just keeps going round and round. And so I don't want to interrupt stuff or cause anything. I think I won't resist ever again when starting to travel, but I will pop back. You know what I mean? I'll let it go through, because that whole storm, I realized, was me not going, and it was that suction thing that happens when you pop over, and I was just keeping that door, like, open. Also, I wonder if that app is bringing in people that I normally don't have around me, which might not always be good, because I'm not doing any protection ahead. I was just trying the thing out, you know. And even, let's say the app is a joke and it doesn't work, I'm still asking. I'm sitting in my room calling the spirits to come talk to me. You know, that's not necessarily the smartest thing to do without any not very bright. So I think that, yeah, I think I'm going to take a different, I mean, I thought it was just like an app, like something fun, let me try it. And then I heard that shit with Jeff. I hope it was Jeff. And I was like convinced. And then I was like, oh, is this real? Is this not? Like, over the course of the last couple of days. But the whole time I've been asking spirits to come with me, to sit with me, to talk with me. Maybe and not doing any protection ahead. Nothing. Just turning on the app while I'm like sitting there and go, oh, let me try this right now. So dumb. So fucking dumb. I know better. But I just didn't take it as seriously as I should. And I paid for it last night. Anyway, guys, that's my story. Write down below what you think happened to me. I mean, it was like this time warp. Felt like I fell through a black hole or something. Write down below what you think actually happened to me. I don't even know. Like, I am still, I mean, it was just last night, and I'm still processing. Like, I try to, like OBEs, you remember. It's like, you might get a fuzzy part here or there, but 9 times out of 10, you remember every detail. Like, not similar to like a dream where like I'll forget about it. So I've been trying to pick out the details in the kitchen when I was looking for what to put up with on the door to like block it out. Like now I'm going back and trying to remember, did you see any like soap products or this or that you could kind of hit a timeline on, you know, but I can't remember. And so stuff like that, because I'm always looking for that one piece of paper that I'm gonna be able to research now and find. So I've done it a couple times with like people I've met along the way, but I want the one that says me. Alright guys, I love you. If you'd like to follow me down the rabbit hole that is my life, hit the button down below and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like these kind of videos, a thumbs down if you don't. Either way, you're watching me. Manifest something lovely in your life if you know it, think it, believe it. You can have it too. And I think we have so many lives now. I'm like, are we like all basically going through life after life after life? I always said there's nothing wrong with travel, because if I can find the steps to heaven, I'll know where I'm going. And like when it happens, I'll know exactly which direction to go. Maybe the only direction you go is to the next life. Or maybe you have that choice. So, more exploring to do. More exploring. I love you guys. Bye. Have a good day.